Welcome to lecture 3, requirement determination. So in this lecture we will take an in-depth look in requirement gathering techniques. Okay, so we'll discuss how to create requirement, okay, and different requirement analysis techniques, and when to use each requirement analysis technique. And we'll discuss about how to gather the requirements using various techniques. Okay, and we'll discuss about when to use these requirement gathering techniques. So there are four segments here. So let's discuss about what is requirement analysis. Okay, so in the analysis phase, what we do, we try to understand the requirements or the feature of the system. Okay, so we need to address them. So the thing is, a client might have a list of requirements. It's possible, but most of the time client have a basic idea on the what the system will do, but they don't have any detailed information. So in that case, we have to, or the software company or software developer, they actually need to analyze and gather those requirements. Okay, so the first challenge is how to collect those requirements, and then how to integrate them. And the second challenge is how to find the right people. Okay, so we have to collect those information from someone or from the existing system. It's okay, but if there is no existing system, so then we have to collect those requirements from someone. For example, I have discussed to you earlier about that garments management system. Okay, so the client said, okay, I need a garments management system software. Okay, so then you have, and in the garments management software there should be the workers information, the salary information, the leave information, etc, etc. So uh, but the developer team, they actually don't know how the payment system or how the leave system works in garments company. So they have to talk to the people from the garments and then come up with some idea. So in the analysis phase, so the planning is okay. Okay, so that means we are doing this. Okay, we have done the feasibility analysis, those things, but in analysis phase we uh, take the general idea from the system request. Okay, so from the system request we create a detailed requirement definition, what we are going to do here, and based on those detailed requirement we create different structural, functional and behavioral model. Okay, so and finally that became the system proposal. Okay, so in the last chapter we discussed about system request, and the detail we have added, add new and detailed requirements there, we make some modeling there, and it becomes the system proposal. Okay, so what is requirement? The requirement specification, so it is a statement of what the system must do. Okay, what will be the characteristics of the system. So there are two kinds of requirement. One is business requirement, one is system requirement. It is based on the perspective. Okay, so there are for the business people we create from business perspective, that is called business requirement, and then we create a system requirement which is more technical. Okay, so we actually discuss about the system requirement part only. So the system requirement, it is divided in two parts. So one is functional and another one is non-functional. The functional requirement, it relates directly to the process of the system that has to perform, or the or information it needs to contain. And the non-functional requirement, it basically refers to the behavioral properties. Like for example, I'll discuss this in later, but here now, like in a website, we have a login system. Okay, a login feature. So that is actually a functional requirement. But what about the security of that login feature? Okay, we need to add some hash function or something like that. Okay, so those are the non-functional requirement. Okay, let's discuss this one. So it is an example of a vehicle management system. Okay, so we have to find the what are the functional requirement or the basic feature of the this system. So here in the 1.1, the system will allow manager to view the current new vehicle inventory. So we are doing this for a vehicle management system, and the manager they can view the current new vehicles. Okay, or if or the manager can see what are the orders. Okay, and who sent the orders. Also, if there is a new vehicle in the inventory added in the inventory, so there must be some option for adding new vehicle. Okay, so that is from new vehicle management, that part. If we come to the vehicle sales management part, so that means uh, we can sell or we can input the sale information here. Okay, so suppose we want to make some offer to particular car. Okay, like 10% offer or some other benefits. Okay, so we can do that. Okay, we can able to do that. Okay, and also we can create sales contract, like someone bought a car, so we have to make a contract with him. So in the system there will be an option for preparing the sales contract. Okay, also it will keep the customer's payment. Okay, it will create a record of customer vehicle purchase. Okay, there can be the information of other dealers maybe there. Okay, so what the system will provide. Okay, so we have to keep all those information. So we have to analyze, okay, the current vehicle management team, what they do. Maybe they manually write something in their in a code book. Okay, then okay, we have this number of car in our inventory. Okay, when the sales, if we think about sales management perspective, so some salesman he or she sell a car. Okay, so they have to make a contract, so they can easily can be done through this management system. What about the non-functional example? So non-functional requirements we divide it in four parts: operational, performance, security, cultural, and political. Okay, so operational means like it should be run, that system should be run in tablet, in PC, or in mobile phone. Okay, it will be it can be run in Windows and Mac or Linux. Okay, and suppose there is a shop management system there, so it should interface with the shop management system there. The printer, there is a wireless printer, so the system can connect to the printer wirelessly. So these are the operational. The performance, like at a time 15 salesperson can use that. Okay, and there is a update in pending offers of vehicle in every 15 minutes, or the response time is 8 seconds. Suppose I am a client, so I am searching for a vehicle there. Okay, so I search with like a model number, so the system will respond with some list of the vehicles. So if it takes time, like it takes 30 or 40 seconds, it's a long time, so the client won't wait till that time. They said, okay, maybe there is some problem, they just close that one. Okay, also there are some security issue. If there is a security issue, as I said earlier, like the username and password should be encrypted, suppose. Okay, Then one salesperson cannot access the information of other salesperson or other salesperson's customer contact. Okay, and every offer should be verified by the owner or manager. Okay, like that. Cultural, political, suppose there can be some governmental rule. Okay, you have to follow those rules. Some cultural, like my focus is on for Bangladesh and USA, so I put two languages in the site, English and Bangla, or English, Bangla, Chinese, anything. So these are the requirements. So this part is called non-functional requirement. So now this is a brief description of basically what these four types of non-functional requirement. So that operational part, as I said, it is a physical and technical environment which the system will operate. And the performance, it relates with the speed, capacity, and reliability. Security is the access control, authentication, authorization, this part. And the cultural and political is if there is any cultural, legal requirements that affect the system. For example, like government said you cannot like you are trying to sell some blacklisted items, so from the government you cannot sell that. Okay, so you cannot put those information in the website. Or suppose there are some data protection act. Okay, you cannot copy from other website and put it in your website. Okay, so we have to think about these non-functional requirements. So if we compare these two requirements, okay, so functional requirement, it defines all the services, all the feature that provided by the system. And non-functional means that is speed, reliability, response time, maybe some storage requirement. Okay, like um, for the banking system we need a very secure database system, suppose. Then we might need Oracle. So if you think about Oracle database system, then you have to design your system differently. If you think about, okay, I will use PHP, then you have to, or sorry, MySQL, then I have to think or design differently. Okay, and there are some other features also, like functional requirement easy to test. Okay, non-functional is difficult to test. Like I said, okay, this system can be used by 15% at a time. Okay, so then how you are going to test it? Then we have to go for load testing, stress testing. Okay, but think about which one is important, functional or non-functional. Okay, so in functional case it is related to the individual feature, like login is a feature, show card information is a feature, add card information feature. Okay, so there are several, but non-functional requirement, it relates to the system as a whole. Like response time is 8 seconds. So any place where you go, like any operation you do, like you add a new car, so it should be added in like 20 seconds. Okay, so these are the response time. And if we fail to meet the individual functional requirement, then it might degrade the system. Like you have did login, show card information, etc, etc, but you didn't add like modify card information, suppose. So it doesn't mean the system is broken. It means you have implemented some of the feature, but you didn't, you can add some other feature also in future, so the system is running. Okay, but failure to meet the non-functional requirement may make the whole system unstable. For example, the response time getting higher. So whenever I search for a car, it takes around 1 minute. It takes around 30 seconds, 40 seconds. So in those cases, actually my whole system became unstable. So this is the end of this segment.